Hey guys, back again. I've already done a video like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean a rabbit again for you real fast. Because if you're like me, anytime you're trying something new, I watch multiple videos of the same thing to make sure I'm doing something right, doing something fast, accurate, doing the best thing I can do, the best job I can do. Kind of like working on a car. You want to watch 5 different people do their method of doing it. So I'm going to do this one again. That way, if you missed something on the previous one, you can see it this time and maybe speed up. And maybe since the last video, I changed something up. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I clean a rabbit. With that being said, you don't need a special place if you're not, selling it, having it butchered for a business or something. Individuals buy my rabbits and they buy them by the litter load. I've already cleaned, I think, 9, and I've got a few more. So I'm just going to take this time to show you how I do it. And again, you don't need nothing special. I just got an old shed with a bunch of junk everywhere. Nothing special. My cleaning station, I've just got a board here. You can see it's already filthy, but I've got 2 screws here. It just goes down and screws to the table here on the back side. It's got some boards to hold it in place to keep it steady. I put it up and then I screw it to it, hang my rabbit, clean it. When I'm done, I'll wait for everything to clean off. I pull it off and I put it away. So it'd be better if it was metal so you can really sanitize it. But for the most part, you'll see in this video that the meat doesn't really touch it, the fur and whatnot. But then I'm going to go and wash the meat. And at the same time, I'm going to show you how to do it to where you can keep the fur. Because I tan mine and do whatever with it. Alright, y'all stay tuned. To start out, I'm going to take our rabbit, and it's just like if you've done squirrels or anything with any kind of hanger. You're going to find this spot right here in the leg behind the tendon, and you're just going to put a slit in it. So sometimes you can't really see it, you just feel for it. I just put the knife down like that and pull up on the leg, and it cuts that slit in there. Same thing on this side. You can kind of just put it in the middle, and that's going to be where it's at. Guys, I'm going to try to get the camera angle, move it around to make it better, the best as possible. Alright, now, that being said, told our 2 screws right here, nails, however you want to do it, or maybe you got like a clothes hanger style hanger, just put your slits on the nails. We've got the rabbit hung, and there's your rabbit, as you can see. What we're going to do, you're going to pinch it here. I usually kind of shake it just a little bit, make sure I ain't got no meat or anything in there, and then you just put a little slit in your fur. And once you get your slit, you're going to start putting fingers in. You got your slit, you're going to put a couple fingers in. 1, 2, however many it takes. You're going to kind of wiggle them and work your way all the way down. Well, I say all the way down. You're going to get it loose, broke from the skin, or get the fur broke from the belly and the meat. I just start slitting it down. Cut a line down as you go. I've got it down to somewhere around the neck, legs, neck. From there, what I do, I go ahead and remove these front feet. You can do them at the same time, do them one at a time. If you want, you can use like a limb cutter. I grab the ears, I go ahead and remove the head. You can push this up against this board and kind of push on the knife, pull on the head, and sometimes it comes right off, sometimes it don't, sometimes you just got to cut it off. I'll go ahead and do that so if it has some blood, it can go ahead and drip while I'm working on the rest. Now, you're going to slide your hand behind this fur and down by the rib cage, because the rib cage is hard and it gives you a guide. If you do it up here up the top, it's all loose and you're having to fight everything. Down here, you're going to break the fur away from all the insides, and all you got to do is slide your hand all the way around. Sometimes you can do this way a little way and then do the other side and meet them. Sometimes you can just start on one side and work your way all the way around. because you're going to be holding the fur with the other hand anyway. So, like I said, we're going to work the fur away from the inside. You can just pinch this inside right here. Pinch it, pull it, slide your fingers around. I'm going to be pinching and grabbing the inside here, and while you slide your other fingers around. Like I said, you're going to try to get all the way around and remove this completely from the rabbit right here at the rib cage. So, here we go. Pinching the inside, working our fingers around. So we're pinching, and we're just kind of pulling and using our fingers to push the fur away. We're going to work it all the way around. This is kind of one of those things that you're just going to have to do it to really understand what's going on, because it's all about feel. Because you're going to be getting to the back side. See, now I'm working my way around the other side. And I'm going to meet my fingers and just get a gap at the back to where I can separate all that. Alright, I'm all the way through. Now you're really going to see that I get my finger all the way around. Pan down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and remove it from the head. Hand all the way through. Here, you're just going to grab it. Get my thumb through, holding it. I'm going to put my other hand between the two, like so. And I'm just going to pull the fur off the head and the front feet. Remember, you don't cut all the head and the front feet off. So it's just going to pull straight off. I'd be careful not to sling blood like I just did, but I'm working with an angle to help y'all see. Now, all this top, if you can see it right there, all the top is all intact, every bit of it. We're just going to grab the fur, we're going to unhook the legs, and we're just going to pull it away from the body. And it's going to come right off, and you're going to have a good pelt that you can tan if you want. Either way, I find it to be one of the best ways. So I'm just going to grab the body right here, grab the fur. You're just going to pull it straight back. Throw your fur in the first stack if you're going to do anything with it. If not, just drop it in your scrap bucket. I got one directly under the rabbit. Right here, if you can see it, I pinch it. You don't want to cut way up here because you might hit the bladder. So I just come down somewhere down here in the middle. But I just pinch it and start slitting it open. And then you'll cut your way around one side of the rib cage. All that loose skin. There's no meat or nothing there. It's just loose skin, and just pull it down. Let all your stuff fall down with it. You can go ahead and cut it off if you want. I usually let it hang. When I'm done, I'll remove it. I come up here to the tail and the giblet. I call it giblet, but the goober, the sexual organs, the whatever you want to call it. Cut your slit. I'm trying to do this where y'all can see. I'm sorry if I'm getting in the way, but cut that. You can see I got the whole track right there. A lot of times it'll cut in half. I prefer it to just break off like so. Take your finger. You're gonna stick it in right there. Right there. There's no big. It's not rocket science. There's a hole right there, and then by doing this, you're gonna push the urine sac out. You're gonna push the intestine and any sexual organs that they have. You're going to remove it all, sticking your finger in, and then you're going to pinch and pull from the bottom. It's all going to come out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to scoop these insides out, but as we go, I'm going to show you a few tricks. Now, I will say, depending on what country you're in, you can see the kidneys right here. You can see that. I know my lighting's not the best. There's 2 kidneys. In some countries, if you're selling these, you have to keep those. Here in America, in the United States, we don't have to keep them on. But with that being said, why you have to keep them is because a cat carcass looks almost identical. The difference is in a cat carcass, the kidneys will be directly across from each other, whereas on a rabbit, they're offset. So I'm going to remove them because I don't have to keep them. I just grab them, pull them off. You can slide your fingers down. Whatever you got to do. You're going to pull everything down. And you see it's all hanging. I'm just going to drop it all in a bucket. Right here you can see a piece of meat. If you can see it from your angle, right in the middle. I grab it. I just start cutting it like this. What's going to happen is it's going to open up the diaphragm and everything to give you access to everything on the bottom. Cut it down. You can see that diaphragm just completely opens. It's all going to come down. You can just pull it down. I scoop 2 fingers in, grab what you can, and just pull it all out. Pull it out with everything hanging. It should all drop about that time. Then there's that skin from the beginning. You can just cut that off. A lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times you'll still have just a little bit of stuff stuck in there. You do have a hole at the very bottom that everything's been draining, but it's stuck somewhere in there. Just do your best to get it out. I scrape it out. Usually try to pinch it with 2 fingers and just pull it out. It's not rocket science. It's just all got to come out. Okay, that's all the inside. Now all we got left is the feet up there. You can clip them if you got some cutters, some limb cutters, whatever you want to do. You can cut it with a knife. It's easier if you just set it on something and cut it. I don't like to use my board up here, but I cut that foot off. Sometimes there's still fur, and you just have to nick that off. I'll show you on this one. You just kind of find that joint in there, and find that joint, bend it, cut it off. You can hear the crunching. There's that foot. You see there's a little fur left right there. You just cut it right on off, and that's it. Perfect rabbit meat. So like I said, this might not be the best way. If y'all have any pointers or tips, I'll be glad to take them. This is just, growing up, we rabbit hunted all the time, squirrel, I mean everything. And this is just, to me, what I've found to be the easiest way. I've been doing it like this since I was a kid. But if you have any pointers, I'll be glad to take them and try them out. This method gives you a good hide that you can tan, or if you just want to keep the hide or do something with it, this is the best way for me to keep it good. I'll tan all these, and these are all New Zealand, so they're all white. There might be a small gray spot. And then I got my meat in a bucket. So I got my fur, my meat in a bucket. I've got the dispatched rabbits in their own bucket, and then I've got my scrap bucket. But this is my method. If y'all like it, leave a comment or hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Sometimes we do things with rabbits. I don't know if I've done anything with the chickens, but there's backpacking, there's horse videos. I do a little bit of everything, and I try to make a video on it and keep y'all updated. And sometimes my kids are on there doing stuff too. So hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Before I forget, I want to remind you that the rabbit size dictates a lot of it. The rabbit I showed you is it was a smaller one. It hadn't fully grown to its complete adult size. My customers seem to like the meat better like that, so that's what I tend to do. But on the bigger ones, they're much tougher, specifically to get the fur away from the skin. So, for instance, this right here, I'm working on a full-grown size, and I mean, you can see the size to my hand. Sometimes it takes 2 hands to get it all broke loose at the same time, and you're still having to fight for it. So just keep that in mind, that the skin is much tougher to pull away. So, all right, have a blessed day.